Josh Hawley is a member of the Senate Judiciary Committee. He joins us from D.C. Senator, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, so the president made it very clear that if there's going to be a trial, and it's going to proceed now from the House to the Senate, it looks like, the president said he would like to be able to call witnesses. He'd like to call Joe Biden and Nancy Pelosi and Adam Schiff and the whistleblower. But it seems to be the Republicans in the Senate, where you sit, are more interested in a quick, clean, let's get it over with, 2-week trial. Is that where you're at right now?
Well, I think that we've got to see. I mean, here's what I would say. I'd be ready to vote right now, because I think you can see that these articles of impeachment that the Democrats have put up are just a joke. I mean, they don't even allege a crime. So it's a total joke. But listen, if we get to the point where we're going to call witnesses, then I would absolutely support calling Hunter Biden. And I would absolutely support calling the whistleblower. I would vote for that, you bet, because I think they're absolutely relevant, absolutely material.
Okay.
What did you make of yesterday when Michael Horowitz was speaking and talking about all the failures and all of the inaccuracies, all the omissions, when he was doing his research and trying to find out how these Democrats were able to spy or surveil Carter Page? I mean, there were so many different mistakes. It was
while he sat there.
Yeah, it was based on being unverified. The dossier was unverified. They didn't tell the judges who paid for the dossier. It was the opposing political campaigns. Lied in 4 separate warrants, omitted evidence, doctored material.
Yeah, here's the thing that really strikes me. I mean, what's worse? Is it worse to have a foreign government trying to interfere in our election, or is it worse to have our own government? Because that's what the FBI did. Essentially, the Democrat Party bought themselves an FBI investigation. The Democrats went out and paid for this fake dossier. They fed it to the FBI, and the FBI used it to get surveillance of the Trump campaign during a presidential election. This has never happened before in American history. And the Horowitz report, the IG report, is really damning. It shows that the FBI bought this hook, line, and sinker. There needs to be some big league reforms there.
Senator Hawley, I thought was also as terrible is the misperception of what this report contained with the headlines. James Comey's taking a bow. I'm totally exonerated. Republicans made it up. And then you watch Michael Horowitz sit there and just lay this case out with his opening statement. And the one thing that sticks out with me is they want to minimize Carter Page and George Papadopoulos as minor players, but yet without their role in this and the Pfizer applications that were that, we don't have an investigation. You can't have it both ways.
Yeah, absolutely. What that report shows is that the FBI repeatedly misled and maybe outright lied to a court, a FISA court, to get wiretaps, to get eavesdropping, to get surveillance. I mean, this is a huge deal. I just have to say, to see the FBI director out there saying that, oh, this exonerates the FBI, totally wrong. And unless the FBI director now makes some heads roll, unless he institutes some structural reforms, I don't know how Americans can have confidence that the FBI won't interfere in the future in our elections.
Yeah, if the RNC and if Trump's campaign did this to the Democrats, did this to Hillary Clinton, what would be the backlash?
Oh, my gosh. I mean, we would be, you talk about an impeachable offense. I mean, if the Trump campaign had even allegedly done something like this, I mean, the backlash would be intense. The facts are this. The Democrat committee paid for a fake dossier, fed it to the FBI, and the FBI used it to interfere in an ongoing presidential campaign. It's unbelievable. It can never happen again. We have to make sure of that.
Well, what Horowitz made very clear yesterday, Senator, was that they found FBI violations from top to bottom. All manner of FBI agents were involved at the very height and, low-level people as well. But do you, and of course now nobody remembers exactly what happened, isn't that convenient, lapse of memory, but do you buy that it was just these low-level FBI people? I mean, if you're investigating a presidential candidate in the midst of a campaign, don't you think they'd talk to their boss like the Attorney General? And don't you think the Attorney General would ask somebody over at the White House who's their boss? Do you buy this line?
I absolutely do not buy this line. You cannot tell me that case agents, mid-level, low-level case agents, opened up this surveillance program without the supervision of, say, the Attorney General or the President of the United States. And I think we need to find this out. What did the Attorney General know, Loretta Lynch? What did the President, Barack Obama, what did he know? Are we really to believe that the FBI is conducting a surveillance campaign during an election of a political opponent and the White House doesn't know anything about it? I think we got to find that out.
Right, Senator, do you think were there Democrats who told you they were upset by this?
I think the Democrats are willing to say sort of privately that, yeah, this is a problem. They have the FBI doing this as a problem. But, you know, they are so blinded by their hatred of the president that I couldn't believe listening to the Democrats yesterday trying to pass this off and say, well, it was just a few minor mistakes. When you lie to a court repeatedly to try and get eavesdropping authority on your opponent, that's not a minor mistake.
No kidding. All right, from the great state of Missouri, Josh Hawley, Senator, thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Senator.
you.